Sometimes we make you laugh. Sometimes we make you cry. We make you feel inspired, excited, amazed, empowered, alive. Curiosity propels Sony forward. Groundbreaking electronics, extraordinary entertainment, innovative services. We honor our past. We build for the future. We value diverse points of view. We harness technology to transform and enrich lives. We contribute to the world with a sustainable vision. We are Sony.
Wow, that was such a really great video. Hello everyone, welcome to the Power of Why coaching model. I'm Daniel with Rob and Stuart. I'm sorry I cannot make it today, but happy to be joining virtually. We've got some really awesome content for y'all. Some of you might wonder why we started with the video from our parent company, Sony. Our Sony Group CEO, Kenichiro Yoshida, talks about the feeling of Kondo. And what Kondo is that it expresses a feeling of deep satisfaction and excitement when encountering something exceptional in value, quality, or performance. And here at Sony, our purpose is to fill the world with emotion through the power of creativity and technology. It's a very powerful statement that we'll be discussing and covering later in the session. So let's get started. Power of Why model. So today, our agenda, we'll be covering what our goal is for this model, why does why matter, a short group activity hosted by Rob and Stuart, the big onion approach, when and how to use this model, how to overcome the challenges, a short video from Simon Sinek, and to top it off, finishing with a group activity hosted by Rob and Stuart. So let's get started. So our goal. This model was designed and developed for coaching as a way to ensure that coaching sessions and conversations were aimed at motivating people to make a difference in what they were doing rather than just being a comfortable chatter analysis. So as leaders, we need to find what motivates our people to make a difference. How do we inspire action? How do we get people going and being that coach for them? What is your drive? What gets you out of bed in the morning? You got to figure out that. And that is passion and discipline, but also we need to inspire action as coaches and leaders. So as leaders, we find what motivates people to make a difference. And that's exactly what we're going to be aiming and what we're shooting for with this model. So Viktor Frankl, who was a Holocaust survivor, an Austrian neurologist and psychologist, once said, when you have a big enough why, you will overcome any how. And emphasize, why the actions and decisions can lead to greater engagement and effectiveness. It really brings out the value and meaning to anyone's work. So our thinking, our decision-making process. So what, how, and why. While the what provides direction, the how identifies the opportunity to influence, and our why provides the motivation to do what needs to be done to achieve great things. For many individuals and teams and organizations, it is typical to go straight from the what to the how, then wonder why ideas and concepts just never achieve their full potentials. That is really, really critical when we think about this model, because we always focus on the what and the how. We know how to do things, we know how to get it done, but we just don't know why we're even doing it. Sometimes it's really great to kind of take a step back to see the bigger picture and to understand and dig deep to understand why are we doing this. Can we adjust it? Can we change it? Is it needed? These are things that we should be thinking about. So, speaking of why, why does why even matter? Why am I even doing this presentation? Emotional drive and motivation behind actions. Earlier in the purpose video from Sony, it talks about how we make people feel. And that feeling is what transforms the world. As one of the leading entertainment and technology companies, we have a commitment to harness technology to enrich lives and shape our culture. Without our purpose, everything seems difficult and hard to do. People get lost. We don't know what to do. We lose a sense of direction. Things start to look down, and quite frankly, everyone feels unmotivated to progress for the future. And that's why some ideas just never make it. So we have a short activity for you, and hosted by Robin Stewart. I'm going to pass it on to them. Thank you. So I hope we all enjoyed our little mini activity. And if you remember earlier, I mentioned about motivation and how leaders need to find motivation within themselves and their group. This brings us to our next topic, the big onion, which is about developing the layer of motivation. And this is our coaching segment. So the circle of life. So there's like 3 circles. So with those with the big enough why, all things become possible. If you have enough reasons to achieve something, you will work out what it takes to get there and be willing to commit to it. Start with why, your purpose, what value it brings to you, the behaviors, the motivators, and feelings. Your how and what will come after. What you really need to figure out and start with is why, the core purpose or belief that drives behavior and decision making. Your how process or actions taken to realize the why. Your what is the outcomes, the products, the results of these actions. So we really need to start with the why. Leaders in an organization articulate a clear why. They create stronger emotional connections, fostering loyalty and drive long-term success. So I discussed how important that is, and so let's kind of peel layer by layer with the onion, uncovering motivation by layer. So first, you want to start personal. You want to start with the individual. Why is this goal important to them? What value does it bring? Then you kind of expand to others. What's in it for them? And then you pull another layer, extend to the wider audience. Who else can benefit from this goal? You keep expanding this until the why sounds and until the goal becomes very compelling. So let's just put this coaching model into practice. So first, personal thing is that we want to start with prioritizing health and creating meaningful connections. This is a goal that Rob Stewart and I kind of created. So we want to prioritize health and creating meaningful connections. That's our goal. How are we going to do it? Take a class, Sony Pictures Athletic Club, like a yoga class, Pilates class, boxing class, can be anything. You can join a bowling league. You can join a golfing league, a pickleball league. Or we can go to a vegan restaurant. You could go to a escape room. The possibilities are endless. Like, the opportunity is just something that people need to capitalize on. You see what I'm getting at with that? Is basically, it can be anything. It could be starting a hiking club. It can be anything. And so the third is the results. Once you decide what your how is, your opportunity, then the results will show. No matter which one. I mean, if we start a hiking group, I mean, the results are we get work-life balance, we foster a community with individuals where people can chit chat and talk and develop connections and during those hikes, talk about work, don't talk about work, doesn't matter. Same thing with an escape room, right? Like, or like a vegan restaurant. Like, we were able to foster our diet and making sure that, hey, we're eating healthy, we're putting good food in our system, and making sure, hey, like, we be able to communicate as a community. Let's reverse psychology this. Like, what if we just start with the what? Like, maybe our goal is work-life balance and community. Then, okay, so how do I achieve work-life balance? Then you might say, hey, like, maybe we can cut down overtime. How do we do that? And you might say, hey, like, let's do more happy hours, let's do more group activities, so you get a little bit of a different result. And sometimes, like, if you can't lash them on, like, if you can't, it's like kind of like fishing, like, if you can't get that bait, you can't inspire people to latch on. It's really, really rough, really, really hard to get your results. So if you start with your why, prioritizing health and creating meaningful connections, hey, I have something that, can help put your priority as health to number one, top, and foster meaningful connections while we're doing it. We got such a great event for you, which is, it could be an escape room, it could be joining a league. So, and then the results kind of show and follow. It's kind of like we talk about with profits and people. You invest in your people, then the profits will follow. So it's kind of like that kind of flow. You want to figure out the people. You start with the people, their purpose. When to use the power of why. So when do you use this coaching model? When projects and events need greater motivation and commitment. When you need to refuel some goals, initiatives, OKRs, you need to reignite, re-energize your project. When deciding priorities, goals, trying to figure out the balance, and whenever you need to boost motivation and resilience. When you need to take a step back and realize, like, what is our purpose? What are we doing? Are we doing value-added work? Are we spending quality time with the people you love? That type of thing. So, as leaders, you need to think, the steps to unleashing the power of why. Steps to unleashing greatness. Like, basically what our finance org really talks about. So you need to first ask the key questions. Why is this goal important? What value does this bring? What does it bring? And generating a list of reasons why achieving the goal is super essential. It's really important that we list out all your reasons to figure out, as reminders of, hey, like, this is what I want to accomplish. This is what sounds compelling to me. Upholding your values. I've had my fair share of activities where we pick up tasks and things to do at work. And I've realized with so many different org changes and leadership changes and so many different team changes, one of the biggest things that we think to ourselves is, why? Can we do this differently? Is this needed? Can we adjust? Can we take that risk and maybe assess if this is needed? Can we make sacrifices in this area and put more of our priorities elsewhere? That is really the key pieces to revamping a team and boosting morale. So our next piece is how to stay connected to your why when you're faced with challenges. Revisit your why. Adjust and refine. As you know, many purposes do evolve over time, and we're in an economy where everything changes super quickly. One moment we have a strike, the other moment, we're producing like major films, and we're back on the road, and now we have a bunch of productions on the lot today. You want to get as many people involved to keep this goal alive. You want to refine your why as circumstances change, and you want to keep many people involved with this. The model really talks about the importance of understanding and articulating a deeper purpose. Your intuition often aligns with this core purpose and guiding decisions that are authentic and effective. Together, the why and intuition create a powerful synergy. It blends in really great, and enabling individuals and organizations to act with clarity and confidence, thus building trust in innovation. All right, so Simon Sinek, he's an author and TED Talk speaker, and he talks about starting with why. And he has this quote: "People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And what you do simply proves what you believe." So that kind of leads us to our Simon Sinek video and our group activity to follow, hosted by Rob and Stuart. I'm going to pass it on to them. Thank you so much for everyone's attention, and I hope you have a wonderful development team building session today. Thank you so much, and bye for now. Thanks.
A lot of people don't realize that I actually hated reading for the majority of my life. By the time I was 18, I don't think I had really read a single book unless it was part of an assignment and I was just forced to do it. But ever since I went to first grade, my teachers constantly tried to inspire me to read, and it never worked. It just made me hate it even more. And then finally, when I was about 18 or so, I started to find mentors, most of them online, and they were able to inspire me to read almost instantly. And now I can't even imagine a life where I don't read. So, what was the difference between my teachers, who tried to inspire me to read for 12 years and failed constantly, and my mentors who were able to do it in basically no time? Well, here it is in the context of the Golden Circle. My teacher started with the what. You have to read this classic. This is a great book. You have to. Then they sometimes went to the how and said, this is how you read it. But that was it. There was no why. The funny thing is, if I'd asked, why should I read it? They would probably get angry and start yelling. How could you ask a stupid question like that? What do you mean, why should you read a classic? And that anger would mostly come from the fact that they haven't really thought about the why. So they can't really clearly articulate it. Most people, and even most organizations, don't really know why they do what they do. But how are my mentors different from my teachers at school? They had successful relationships, they had success in their businesses, and they said, look, do you want your girlfriend to be attracted to you? Do you want to build a successful business? Do you want to create powerful relationships instead of always getting your emails ignored just like everyone else? And I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I want. And they were like, okay, good, then pick up a book. Oh, and by the way, How to Win Friends and Influence People is a great book. So is The Way of the Superior Man. And I picked up both of those books and read them, and now reading is an inseparable part of my life. That is how great leaders inspire action. Everybody starts from the what, and most people never even get to the why. Most people create a product and they want to tell you about all the amazing features and specifications. They want to tell you about how these features work so well, but the truth is, most people don't care about your what and how. Most people don't want to be told the exact measurements of your CPU. They don't want to be told how the little chips interact with each other so amazingly. They want to be told something like this: we value efficiency just like you do. Here's how we can help you be more efficient. And here's a product that will help you achieve exactly that. And that's exactly what I want to buy. If you tell me my company's going to be more efficient, I want to know more. If you tell me how great your newest chip is, I don't really care. So again, most people start from the what and never even get to the why. You're not going to make that mistake. You're going to know your why, and you're going to start with it because you realize that people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it.